What's up, fish heads? Welcome back to Waterbox Live, y'all.
It's the best one. We have
said
Q&A.
y'all.
You just say y'all.
I don't think I ever say that.
No, that's not really your slang. It's usually fish heads and there's no country slang.
I did say fish heads, though.
Yeah, but no country slang usually.
Yeah.
We got Q&A going on today, which is like the best because we can never get to a lot of questions in our regular streams. So this one is all for your questions in the chat.
Yes, post them below. Ask your questions away about Waterbox, keeping your aquarium, setting up your aquarium, all that good stuff. Are we giving away stuff today?
Yep, two $100 Waterbox gift cards. And of course, the currency for that is like the stream. Also, being active in the comments. If you don't put your comments in there, put your questions, they don't know you're here and they can't choose you as winners because they are drawn from the comment section. So be active, like the stream. That is your requirements for a chance to win one of two $100 Waterbox gift cards.
Yes. Are we live on Instagram? Yes, we are.
Yes. You see it?
I do. Hello, Instagram.
I want to say to Instagram, for those, you want to stick around through the whole thing because we announce the winners towards the end, and that's the only way you know you win in order to then email in and get your gift card. So do stick around or jump over to YouTube, whatever you choose. But if you're not here to hear your name, you don't get a gift card.
I do highly suggest those of you on Instagram hopping over to YouTube. There's a bit larger, very active group over there, and also subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. And those of you that are with us right now, we'd appreciate it if you check, see if that subscribe button is clicked. And if it is, hit that notification bell because we are here every week.
Yep. All right, we should probably get started. If they have questions pulled yet.
Yeah, I got a couple of problems.
All right, so they're gonna work up pulling questions. We're gonna answer them.
Again, you guys, we are giving away, those of you on Instagram, we give away $100 gift cards at the end of the stream. So stick around for that. My frog spawn looks very happy and has...
You happy? I'm gonna say unhappy.
Yeah, unhappy. And has a sponge growing near the base. Coincidence?
If the sponge is, so even though it's toward the base, the actual like flesh of a frog spawn or any of those can actually go quite far down the skeletal base, especially if it's like about to split two heads. So if the sponge is near the flesh, it definitely can be irritating, but also, just make sure like flow, lighting, and parameters and stuff like that are good too. But definitely sponge or anything that's encroaching on like the fleshy area can be kind of annoying to the coral.
Could customs be less than 36 inches in length?
Adriana, just email me, you know that. The form is set to 36 inches as a minimum. There's a little bit of leeway that we can do with that, but Adriana, you already have a custom, you have tons of Waterbox, just email me and we'll work on whatever you want.
VIP.
She is a VIP.
How can I buy the 15 Peninsula tank without the light?
Can't.
You can't. We are looking into, just to give you guys a little bit of insight into the future, we are looking to adding that back to the offering, but it could be a while. But right now you currently cannot. But what you could do is you could buy it and use the light for something else. If you
Yeah, hold it on hand. I mean, the light doesn't go bad, so hold
Yeah.
on to it in case you want to use it later down the road. You can go sell it, whatever you want to do. That way you still have the aquarium. It doesn't, affect the price of an astronomical amount.
When does Blue Friday start? Great question.
None of your business.
Yeah. I'm sure there'll be some comments though.
Yeah.
You'll figure it out real quick with that question. What's an innovation or redesign the aquarium hobby has been needing but hasn't gotten?
I don't even know.
I got one. You know
got
what?
Oh, okay. Keenan's got something here. He's like, you know what?
That's why you threw that question up there.
No, but you know what I've always thought about? I was like, if there's so much water flowing through the tank, can you reharness that energy to create energy, like a self-sustaining pump in case the energy goes out, like on a hurricane or something like that, so that you have...
Harnessing water power.
Uh-huh.
That's a great
Interesting.
Whoa. That would be a pretty cool. You could get sure between power heads and return pumps and stuff like that, you could get a pretty good amount of stored power.
Yeah.
That could be there for power outages or maybe run some of the other equipment off of that power. That would be
The
pretty
aquarium
cool.
industry has made so many advances over the last like 10 to 15 years that that's a really tough question, because if you look back to like even the early 2000s, aquarium keeping was quite a bit more difficult.
Oh, so much so.
From-
like,
I mean, when you look at the Waterbox aquariums themselves, it's so easy to buy a tank system and set it up because you have the cabinet, you have the plumbing that's already pre-configured, no
Yeah.
gluing. You got the aquarium, everything's already there for you. Lighting systems that are paired for it. Whereas back in the day, it's like, okay, I go buy a big glass tank. What am I going to put it on?
right.
You know,
There's
how am I
very
going to
few-
plumb it?
Yeah.
How many people are going to use copper in their plumbing? I
Me.
did it. I
Yep.
did it too. So there's so many
No,
advancements.
I would say anyone who has joined this hobby in the last, I'm going to say even like 5 years. I mean, I'd say in 5 years, there's still been a ton of advancements from 5 years ago to now. But anyone who has been in the hobby from the last 5 years on, such a different world if you were in this hobby 15, 20 years ago. I mean, protein skimmers weren't even really a thing. You had air stones that ran them. Like there weren't really any of those. Like there was no DC return pumps, and power heads were Corralias. They went in one direction only. So the advancements are so different now. And I'm sure it's just going to be improvements on what already exists as far as lights, power head modes, you know, controllability. I don't know what more you can really add to that. But I'd say maybe, talking about that, is one controller platform that no matter what brand you have, if you have Seche, you have Ecotech, you have, you know, Apex, any of those, that all of them can be in one
they all
platform
communicate.
and work together, because it's so divided now. I think that would be a great advancement to allow people to kind of mingle all brands together.
Yeah. Will we see an automatic fleece roller coming in the future? We can't tell you that. There was something I used to say back in the day, like back in the old studio when people asked that. I don't remember what it is, but no.
No.
Can't tell you, unfortunately, but we are always designing new stuff. Always.
Yeah,
I couldn't even show you what's right behind these cameras,
that's
actually.
true. Yeah,
So-
there's a lot of development that always happens. If you notice, at least once a year, at least, we come out with new products, new things. And that's stuff that, you know, a lot of times it takes 1 or 2 years of development before it comes out. So constantly working on new stuff.
When you're coming back to the UK, so we did stop selling directly in the UK to consumers, but we went to Interzoo, and we are working with a few distributors to get Waterbox in the UK. It's not an easy process. I'll be 100% honest with you guys. It takes a while to do that kind of thing, not as quickly as we wanted it to, but we do hope that we will be back there at some point through a third-party distributor. I love the look of no top, but the evaporation makes it a lot more work. Any other solutions besides the top? I suppose the Eden would be a good option.
Yeah, evaporation's not a bad thing. Honestly, so with the rimless aquariums, get an ATO system. It's gonna be your best friend. It's gonna do the work for you. You fill a 5-10 gallon reservoir, or if you've got the sump systems with us, they already have an ATO reservoir. And then your ATO, like the Tunzi, it's gonna add water all day whenever it needs it. It's gonna keep your salinity perfect. And all you have to do is fill that compartment, or if you're using a different container for your water, just keep that full, which is like maybe every couple days you have to put some water in. Evaporation's not bad. You know, you can go with the Eden, still kind of just always, anytime you have a closed system, because Eden is meant for freshwater, so it's a little bit easier, is just keep an eye on temperature and pH and stuff, because, you know, you don't have as much oxygen exchange or heat exchange if you do have a closed system. So evaporation is not a bad thing.
What's the lead time on a custom tank looking to get a 300 gallon?
So average lead time on a custom is going to be anywhere from 90 to 120 days. For a 300, it might be a little bit on that, closer to 120 days, just due to size and curing. But put in your quote request if you haven't already on the website, and any questions, just email back and you'll be able to talk to me.
What's the largest Waterbox tank, or the largest tank Waterbox has ever made?
What is our largest?
We've had a 15-footer, I think. Only one.
Yeah. That's the max in glass that you can go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not, so glass is very heavy.
Yes.
So typically you're not going beyond that. It's hard to transport. They're also going in shipping containers too. So like there's limitations with that as well.
Yeah. So
You go any bigger than that, you got to build it on site probably.
Yeah,
if it's
or
glass.
acrylic or what. Yeah. But I'd say on average, like our larger, if you go into the custom route, it's going to be, that 300 to 400 gallon size tends to be kind of the average larger aquarium that most people go with glass.
Oh goodness, this one's hard for me to read. I have a lot of micro bubbles coming from the return pump. I'm not sure what.
Make them bigger, Cannon.
That's okay. I'm not sure what I do to stop. Sorry, this is hard for me to read. Stop the pump for a while and then turn it back on. Still notice it.
Really
for me to follow.
Figure out where the micro bubbles are coming from. So the pump's not making micro bubbles. The pump doesn't do that. So is it that micro bubbles are coming into your return pump chamber, maybe from your skimmer? If it's not dialed in correctly, or say it's still in the break-in period where there's a lot of micro bubbles, then the pump's just going to suck those up and put them into the tank. Nothing you're going to do about that until the skimmer kind of breaks in or you change your adjustment. Now, if it's not coming from a protein skimmer and it's still coming from a return pump, then somewhere in the line from the return pump through to the nozzle is going to be somewhere that air is getting in. So if something's not tightened all the way, or there's like a pinhole somewhere, something like that is going to be the cause of it. So the pump itself will not make micro bubbles. They're coming from another source, so you got to pinpoint where that is.
Are tanks with sumps noisy compared to the all-in-one tanks?
I mean, they're going to have more noise, but they're still very quiet. So an all-in-one tank doesn't really have any water making any drop anywhere. It comes into the sock, it goes through a few chambers, and comes back through the return pump. There's minimal movement in any elevation of water. Whereas with the sump systems, your water's coming into the overflow box, which can be reduced to very minimal sound. There's always going to be a little bit of sound just for the fact that water is making a drop. But it can be silenced almost from there completely into the sump. And overall, your hum of your protein skimmer or return pump or just general sounds of an aquarium with equipment are going to be louder than the whole aquarium is. So while not 100% silent, because water does make noise, it is very quiet even with the sump system.
I've been cycling my new all-in-one 50.3 for about a week. You're gonna have to take that one, Jen.
And have been ghost feeding daily and adding bacteria. No uptick in ammonia at all. Should I be expecting one? Yeah, so if it's been a week and a half and you've been doing your daily feeding, most likely you're not going to see it, because unless you're adding like way too little bit of food, but usually any ammonia source should show something. Now, if you're going with the method that we do with all of our aquarium setups, is where we use Carib Sea live sand and life rock. Those have beneficial bacteria that come in with them. That helps establish your stuff that you need. Plus, you're adding a bacteria. So most likely, you've introduced enough bacteria into the system already to handle the amount of waste. Now from here, add your inverts. Do those first. Continue that ghost feeding and add some hermit crabs and some snails for some general cleanup crew. Give it another week or so. If everything still shows 0, add in that size tank, I'd say like 2 fish. Feed them, let them establish. If everything still shows 0, or once everything goes to 0, go ahead and add a few more fish. And then once that's stabilized, go ahead and move to coral. So cycle, you don't always have to see any blip in ammonia nitrite if you kind of use it properly. You establish enough bacteria, you use that live sand, you use that life rock, you're bringing in so much of that beneficial bacteria. Unless you went and threw in too much stuff at once, you're not going to see the ammonia spike because your bacteria is taking care of it.
I'll let you guys read that one. I don't know.
I don't know. Do they make little bubbles underwater? I don't know. That I do. I don't know. I guess in the 20 or so years I've done this, I've never heard a fish fart, so I'm going to say no.
So those are the micro bubbles.
Those are the
Yeah, that's where they're coming from. Will dosing Microbacter 7 on an established tank have any benefits?
Yeah, dosing a bacterial supplement, even on established aquariums, is never a bad idea. Doing it after a water change or just on a regular basis is going to help kind of introduce and keep the different strains of bacteria strong. So once you go through your cycle and then say you never add bacteria again, there's a lot of different strains of bacteria that grow in your aquarium naturally, and through that dosing, you can have certain bacteria become dominant. So you will lose certain ones. I think adding those bacteria supplements regularly to an established aquarium is going to help keep them diverse and strong. And I think it also does help combat bad bacteria like cyanobacteria. So cyano is actually, even though it's considered an algae, it's actually a bacteria type. And I think keeping your beneficial bacteria in tip-top shape does help keep that bacteria that's bad kind of under control.
Do you ever feel nervous with the weight of larger tanks up on the floor?
No. I mean, I guess it was if a second story, I'd be considering that.
Or if you have like a crawl space?
Yeah. We live in Florida, so we don't have basements.
Yeah.
Like, so here,
it's on concrete.
It's like, there's nothing below us but sand, and, it's concrete and sand. But I guess if you have basements or second stories, that kind of stuff, you would want to make sure it can handle the capacity.
What's up, Albert?
It's Albert.
Where are you streaming from, man? He's probably in...
Back in Australia? No.
Nah, he's back in... God, my brain's not working today.
No. Taiwan.
Yes.
Yes.
Goodness. goodness.
It's good to see you at Super Zoo.
Yeah. The black screw covers that come on the Infinity 190, do they go inside the cabinet?
Yeah, so those are for your locking neck mechanisms where you use the tool to turn them and lock them in place for your frame. They're not required, but it's just so that you don't see those silver parts. You can just put them right over and cover all of those around the frame.
Should you clean your overflow box?
Yes, keep your weir teeth clean. That's a big one. Don't let algae build up on that. So take a toothbrush and like a little wire brush kind of deal, clean those weir teeth regularly. Algae buildup is going to restrict your flow, can cause backups of your aquarium, restrict flow, and you don't want that. So actually deep inside your overflow box, I mean, I guess after a long time you could have some buildup, but I feel like the water flowing in there generally kind of goes into the overflow pretty easily. If on every 6 month major maintenance, you want to take a shop vac and seriously clean out the overflow, because you can do it around the pipes with the shop vac, go for it. It's kind of like a sump cleaning every so often. It's probably beneficial.
You're going to have to take that one.
We'll set up a brand new reef tank, new rock, may not be necessarily be live rock, new sand, new everything. During that initial stage of building bacteria, etc., do you recommend or not to add a UV light? I wouldn't run a UV right away. So while the amount of bacteria it may kill off is extremely minimal, I think in that beginning time, it's really not doing you any good either. During this time of setup, you don't need to run the lights. You don't really need to worry about algae blooms. You don't have fish in there. You don't have to worry about disease. So I don't see any benefit to running the UV and possibly killing off some of your bacteria. So I just wait until your cycle is over and you start adding light and fish and stuff in there to run a UV light on it.
Somebody asked what you want for Christmas.
What I want for Christmas?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Christmas seems like really far away.
It's not.
What do I want for Christmas? I don't know. I want a Jeep.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah, that's what I want.
How do I properly size my return bump? Is it a good idea to go bigger?
So For your return pump, yeah, you can go bigger because as long as you have a DC pump, you can take it down to a pretty low percentage. And it's always nice. So if you're going to, say, upgrade later, you'll have that pump and it can move to a larger tank with you if you get one bigger. Just make sure you can like dial it down enough if you get like one super sized. Make sure it also fits the return tubing size or barb fitting size of your aquarium. Now, for our aquariums, we recommend about 5 to 8 times turnover through the overflow box. So that's where you want to kind of aim for your flow. The overflow box can handle more flow than that, but that's where you're going to hit your quietest point. The quietest point in the weir flow and also down in the sump is 5 to 8. And you don't need more than that. That's plenty to run, you know, all your filtration equipment stuff effectively in your sump.
Philip says you want a water box.
I want a water box?
Yeah.
I have water boxes everywhere here. I don't need a water box. I have them. Silly question. I'm set up my Marine 60.2. I noticed there's no support plank under the tank itself, only glass. Should I put an additional support there or is the bottom of the tank of the glass tank? So there is a leveling mat that's already attached to our aquariums, and this is all you need to go against the frame of your cabinet. The issue is, and people ask this a lot, if you go and put your own plywood or something like that, you're actually creating problematic pressure points. That piece of plywood, if it has different ripples or stuff like that in it, can actually put pressure points on the glass that you don't want. That can actually cause a problem. And honestly, putting that piece of plywood, if you came to me, I would say it would void your warranty because you did just mess up how they sit on each other. The cabinet's built that way. It's perfectly safe. It's got the pressure points and support that it needs. Don't mess with it. It's designed that way. Stay with it. You put your own wood in there, you're going to cause your own problems. Okay. One of my main concerns.
What can I do to help here?
Nothing. I need to go to my eye doctor. That's what we can do to help.
One of my main concerns for saltwater is re-upping water. I live in a high floor in an apartment building, but with no source of RO water. What's the best way to fill a tank without hauling jugs of water? Just buy an RODI unit. It's gonna be your best bet because you can make it in a lot of ways. Hook it up to your sink, hook it up to your washing machine line, fill 5-gallon buckets, fill a brute trash can when you need, kind of whatever works best for you. I would never want to be the person that has to go and have to take and get RO water from your fish store, take it all the way back, live in an apartment, take it from your car all the way to your elevator, through your elevator, and then to your apartment. You're going to hate your fish tank. You're just going to hate it. Get an RDI unit. We have them. Great price, all the features. Make your own. Throw a little power head in there, mix your salt. All of it can be self-sufficient, super easy. It's going to pay for itself, and you're not lugging jugs of water all throughout your complex.
If you guys are enjoying this Q&A, number one, we do it once a month. Is it the first Wednesday? First Wednesday of every month.
Yes.
And also, if you're enjoying this, make sure you guys smash the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you're on Instagram, make sure you jump over to YouTube and subscribe as well. Do Waterbox stands have a wet side or a dry side for the electronics?
No, so our stands are open, but we do have control boxes that you can install into them. It's an accessory that you can purchase, and that allows you to kind of have a dry compartment in there. But if your stand is getting so much moisture in it that like electronics aren't safe being in this open cabinet because there is a lot of ventilation, there's another issue going on. You got water splashing somewhere, you got something going on because all of our cabinets are built with plenty of ventilation. So if you've got all that buildup, there's something else. But you can check out our control boxes.
Can I order a double manifold fitting with a system that isn't an LX?
Yeah, all of our Marine X and up, all of our sump systems at this point have the part on the return that you can put a double manifold, single or double manifold into. You just take off the white cap and you put the manifold in there. So
you can buy it from the website.
Yeah, on the website under parts.
You got one more.
One more?
I thought I already put it in there, but I guess not because they're asking it again. So
Okay. I guess I asked my question too early. I have the Aiden FL8040 with the light it came with. Would getting a second light for my heavily painted tank be more coverage, or would it be detrimental? One light should be enough. So, I mean, there's no bad to adding a second one. You may just find that you have to kind of turn down the intensity of the two of them. But if you're finding just because it's so heavily planted, or you have some really tall plants and they seem to be blocking one towards the front, then the second one may be beneficial just to get more coverage from front to back, depending on how you have it. Just keep an eye on the intensities. Keep an eye on your plants and see how they adapt to having that second light. And you may just have to take the intensity on one or both of the lights down a little bit to offset now having double the fixtures. All right.
Excellent. So, as always, lots of questions.
I know.
So many questions
We need to do like a 4-hour Q&A, but I don't think I can do it.
That would be exhausting, but maybe we could start at like 5:30 instead of 6 and go a little bit longer.
Yeah. Yeah. We always have so many questions in every stream, and especially these ones here. And we can never get to them, but we try to get through as many as possible.
Yeah.
But we do also have some winners for gift cards. So this is why it pays to watch live. You get your questions answered, plus you can win Waterbox monies. And we have 2 $100 Waterbox gift cards to give away today. Are we ready?
No. Give me 3 minutes.
3 minutes?
3 minutes. All right.
I'm trying to.
If you guys, again, we're going to be giving away some gift cards here in a minute, and I do want to say that we do appreciate you all tuning in. A lot of you guys with us here today. I think the Q&A thing is pretty popular, and I think doing it once a month is going to be really good.
Yeah.
If you haven't already, punch the like button, throw an elbow at it.
I got this one.
Yeah.
Isaac said, would a Waterbox stand be able to withstand the sheer amount of force that I just smashed the like button with? I love that.
I have to say yes, because if I said no, that might be kind of bad. But yeah, smash that like button. If you guys aren't already subscribed to the YouTube channel, please do that and hit the notification bell so you get notified when we go live. We do have some really cool videos dropping this weekend on Saturday, and then some the following Saturday, so keep an eye out for those.
Question here, pizza or tacos?
Oh, goodness.
Tacos, 100%.
That's a really tough one. But I think I'm going to go with tacos. Yeah.
I would have guessed tacos for sure.
Yeah.
All
I'm
right.
going, yeah, whatever.
What do you got? Ivan?
Tacos.
Tacos?
Specific tacos.
Pizza or tacos?
Pizza or tacos, Kanan?
Hawaiian pizza.
Hawaiian pizza.
Yeah.
Dang.
See, that's why I'm struggling,
now you're
Kanan.
gonna start some trouble.
So I'm struggling because I can get down on some.
Tacos are always good, though. Do you want to always eat Hawaiian pizza?
No.
No.
I did fish tacos last night and they were phenomenal.
Dude,
Nice.
fish tacos are great. Shrimp tacos are great. Beef tacos are great. Chicken tacos are great.
Steak.
All time.
I
Steak.
took one of the fish that we have in our tank.
Fresh.
We're ready.
All right, we are ready for some winners.
I don't know if the macro's working.
Oh yeah, it ain't
Eh,
working.
All right, so we're gonna do our drum roll. Do not. Winners are.
One-handed. Tyson Brooklyn 412 and AZ4 Runner. Congratulations, you guys. Email winners at waterboxaquariums.com. Let them know if you're in the U.S. or Canada, and they'll get you hooked up.
Yep. Tomorrow morning, get back to you. Email you over your gift card. As always, we appreciate you guys tuning in.
See you next week.
See ya.
Thank you all for watching. Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell. And to learn more about Waterbox, visit waterboxaquariums.com.
We're live every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Thanks for tuning in. See you next week.
You